Welcome to Everything Arsenal and welcome to the predicted lineup for our game against Bodo Glimt. Second round right away. We played them last week. We're going to play them once again this week, literally after 7 days. Last week, it was, I'd say it was easy. They did create a couple of chances, but you did emerge with a comfortable 3-0 win. I can definitely guarantee that it's going to be more difficult at their place. Everything from the pitch, from them having a good home record, for them scoring a bunch of goals at home. They are definitely not bad at home. And teams like Roma went there last season and considered something like 6 goals. So they have the capability of beating the top teams. They also beat Celtic, I think, earlier this season. So they are a very, very good team. Let's hope we can get a win here. 2 games out of 2 so far. We've started the Premier League very, very well as well. Can we replicate the same? Can we keep up the good form in the Europa League as well and get another victory? 3 out of 3 would be perfect because next up we have PSV twice. It's not going to be easy against them. We're going to play them back to back again. You would expect us to win the last game against obviously Zurich at home, but let's try and beat Bodo and PSV because both of them you'd expect them to fight for second place. So if you can beat both of them back to back and go to 12 points, then leave them fighting for second, then you can actually afford to rest players when you play Zurich in the last game. Hopefully by then we have gone through because the schedule is very, very tough. So which kind of lineup will Arteta go for in this one? Now, it should have been so easy if the likes of Smith Rowe, Fit, El Neni, players like Zinchenko, like it's just direct. Take Tierney out, bring Zinchenko, take Zinchenko out, bring on Tierney, stuff like that. It would have been so easy. So unfortunately, these players are injured and some of the top players have to start this game. A couple of them because we don't really have enough players unless we start with the youngsters. And we don't want to lose this game. We want to go into this game and win it. Let's go away to Bodo and Glimt and get a statement win and keep the good run going ahead of our game against Leeds this weekend. So let me go through the lineup I expect from Arteta, or I expect Arteta to field. Not the one I'd go for. Potentially addressed a couple of players. I'd even leave a couple of them back home in England. So let's start with the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper wise, it's easy. Matt Turner will definitely be the goalkeeper because he's the cup goalkeeper for us. And also, anyway, even if Ramsdale was playing in this competition, he had a bit of a knock against Liverpool the other day, so you wouldn't really have wanted him now to play the very next game. So he needs this 1 week break. But Matt Turner starts for sure in this one. He kept a clean sheet, his first Arsenal clean sheet in the last game against Bodo. Let's hope he can get yet another one. So no problem with that. Obviously, we talked about the kicking last week. His kicking is not the best, but let's hope it doesn't lead to anything major in this game. So only if he's trying to assist a goal for us, then I hope it leads to something major. But in terms of mistakes at the back, hopefully it doesn't lead to anything major. So left back. Who starts for Arsenal at left back? Zinchenko is still a doubt, and Tierney did not start over the weekend. He started one of both of the Europa League games. I think he starts in this one once again. I think he starts in another Europa League game. Tomiyasu played brilliantly at left back the other day, which meant Tierney's well rested and ready to go. So I think it starts in this one. There's a couple of other options like starting Tomiyasu there once again, but I think you start with Tierney, and then if you get the job done early, you sub him out 2 for 1 of the youngsters. Tierney again is not a bad player at all. Recently, he's been taking a lot of shots from outside the box. Every time he's come on, every time he started. I'm happy Tierney playing there at left back. So no problem with that. Hopefully Zinchenko does recover soon because the schedule becomes even more tougher. We have the likes of Leeds away, Southampton away, PSV away all this month. It doesn't get easier. At right back, I think we'll make a change. I think we'll see a player playing for the first time this season. It could be Tomiyasu, it could be Ben White, but I think we'll finally see Cedric this season. Hopefully, by the time we get to Thursday, he's fit and not injured again. So obviously, probably he will be taking the corners in this game and free kicks if he's starting. So let's see how he does. So I don't have a problem with Cedric starting there against Bodo Glimt. So very crucial. Some of you are saying he should have been sold in the transfer window. He should have been loaned out. Blah blah blah. He's here. He's going to help us in the cup competitions, especially with the injuries to Tierney, Tomiyasu, consistent injuries. Let's hope Cedric can help us in this game. If he has a good game, then we know that even next week against PSV, we have Cedric there. He can play. We don't have to play the likes of Ben White and Tomiyasu. Centre back. Let's put the one that obviously will start. His name is Rob Holding. Last week started, scored a brilliant header, showed his power, showed his energy in the box, scored a very good header. Can he do it again this time round? Let's hope so. He starts at centre back. This is his competition. Not in a disrespectful way. We want to win this competition, actually. Like, he obviously can't play in the Premier League because of the likes of Saliba, but he's a professional. He's been I think he's one of the longest serving Arsenal players at the moment. I think it's actually him. He's been here for long, since the Wenger days. So no problem with him starting against Bodo Glimt. Let's hope he can keep another clean sheet. But who will he be next to? Will it be Gabriel once again? Will it be Ben White? Will it be Saliba this time round, or will those players be rested? Now, Ben White has played a lot of games. He's one of those players who can play every single game. Like when he was at Leeds and Brighton, he could feature in every single one of those games. There's a season he played like 50 games for them without missing any single minute. I think it was for Leeds and then for Brighton the very next season. But I think he's been very crucial for us this season, and games coming up. Again, next 2 games, Premier League, Europa League again. We were supposed to play against Man City midweek next week, but it was postponed. We now have a Europa League game against PSV. So, as I said, it gets tougher. So I don't mind resting those players. And Gabriel, many people have said, is out of form. So again, made another error against Liverpool. I don't really blame him 100%, but it came from him and it went to Luis Diaz and it became a goal. Basically, it resulted to a goal. So I think he starts again to build his confidence once again. Also, he rested during the international break. He didn't really go for internationals like the likes of Saliba. So no problem with Gabriel starting. Hopefully, another clean sheet to build his confidence once again. Let's try once again. So that is the back line. Something like this. Matt Turner in goal, Tierney at left back, Gabriel and Holding at centre back, and then Cedric at right back. This is just what I expect from Arteta. Obviously, it could definitely go different. Personally, if I was making this team my own, if I was the one picking the squad, I'd probably rest Gabriel and start Holding and White and see how they do. That's what I'd do, but I have no problem with Gabriel starting with Holding. Next up, let's go to the midfielders. Definitely, I do not want to see Thomas Partey anywhere near this game. He needs to be protected from any injuries that could occur. He's very injury prone, so I'm very glad he was there for Tottenham and the Liverpool game without any injuries. So this game, definitely you can rest, no problem with Albert Sambi Lokonga playing in midfield. Last time he got a 3-0 win with him in midfield. He starts again. He needs to play more games for us because he's going to be here for the next couple of years. I don't think he'll leave or anything at the end of the season. So he needs to build up his confidence. I don't think he's a bad player. Remember where he came from. He was the captain at Anderlecht. So he does have those qualities. He does have those leadership qualities. He's not a stranger in terms of playing football. Like, oh my goodness, this is the first time I'm playing. No, so he does have qualities. Let's see some of them once again in this game. Next up, I think it's going to be Fabio Vieira. Again, one of the players this season that already helped us a lot. He scored against Brentford. He scored in the Europa League as well. He's getting involved as well in goals and assists. The goal we scored against Zurich in the first game, the Marquinhos goal from Nketiah assist, it was from a Fabio Vieira pass before that. Like, if you watch him throughout the game, you can see his qualities, and I think he starts next to Albert Sambi Lokonga. We need him to create chances. Hopefully he can score again. Hopefully he can get into some really good positions. Last week against Bodo, he got into some really, really good positions. He could actually have had like 2 or 3 goals. At the end of that first half, he had a shot that went just off target. He was getting in the box very, very well. I think he hit the post in the first 5 minutes of that game as well. He could have had a hat-trick. So let's hope he can add to his Arsenal account once again. But who starts next to them? Is it going to be Granit Xhaka again? Has not rested even for one game. He's played every single game for Switzerland, played every single game for Arsenal, Premier League, Europa League, Nations League for Switzerland. Odegaard came from an injury, played for Norway. He's featured as well, but he didn't start last week in the Europa League. He only came on. Who else is Partey? Obviously, you said he's not there. There's a couple of other options. But I do think this time round, Xhaka could be rested, and I think we could finally see Odegaard and Vieira starting in the same team. We saw them for like 25 minutes, 30 minutes last week together. Let's see how they do from the start together. I've always waited for this. Odegaard and Fabio Vieira together from the start. I think we're in for a lot of chances created. So no problem with that. I do understand the situation with the pitch in Norway. I think they use an artificial pitch, so it's easier to get injuries. But the way someone like Odegaard plays, not too explosive. I think he can manage it. So let's see how he does with Vieira in midfield. So this is how it looks like so far. A back four of Tierney, Gabriel, Holding, Cedric, and then a midfield of Odegaard, Lokonga, and Fabio Vieira with obviously Matt Turner in goal. Next up, let's go to the business end. Who are going to be scoring the goals? Let's start with the striker. We definitely know who it's going to be. Nketiah once again scored in both games. Could have had more, especially against Bodo. He had a couple of one-on-one chances that he missed, but he did okay overall. And his stats once again is going to be the one who's going to help us reach farther in these competitions. Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Europa League. I don't expect Jesus to play a lot. He was knocked a lot. He was fouled a lot against Liverpool. He almost like he got hit in the head and everything, and we thought there was something bad and stuff like that. But luckily recovered, so he had a tough game. So he starts in this one, unless remember he's one yellow card away from being suspended in the Premier League. So if he ends up getting suspended somewhere, then he might play that Europa League game that follows up. So let's see how Nketiah does in this one once again. No problem at all with him starting. I'm actually going to predict him to score once again. If he gets a chance, he'll probably score. Maybe not the first chance, but if he gets a couple, he'll probably score a goal. Let's hope he scores from the first one. Against Bodo and Glimt, he was okay, got himself into some really good situations. Hopefully, he can convert them this time round. Right wing. We don't have Marquinhos on this app, so I don't even know why I'm looking for it unless they've added it. Have they? No, they only have the Marquinhos from PSG and CCO. We do not want those Marquinhos, but Marquinhos starts at right wing. He got subbed off very early. Unfortunately, I didn't want him to go off that early. I was hoping we'd see more of him. He did do well in the first game against Zurich. Let's hope he can get like 70 minutes in this game, and the likes of Xhaka are not needed. And then at left wing, just like Xhaka, Martinelli has played every single game. He didn't go to Brazil, so luckily he rested for those 2 weeks. But I think he rests this time around. I would definitely rest him in this game. Probably I would start Saka for like the half, but I think Reece Nelson will start in this one. He looked sharp when he came on. I'll be happy to see him playing in this one. We've not really given him a chance because he's been out injured anyway. So I think he would have been loaned out if he didn't get injured. But he came on, looked very sharp against Bodo last week. Let's see him from the start. Him and Nketiah, how do they do with Marquinhos? Very young forward line, but I think with the experience of Vieira and Odegaard behind them, no problem with that. So I'd be so happy to see Nelson getting an assist or a goal. To be honest, I'd already given up on him. If you were to ask me a year ago, who would you sell? I'd probably say sell Niles, sell Nelson. I was sell for all of them. But he's back now. He played very well for Feyenoord. Let's see how he does. So this is it. Turner, Gabriel, Holding, Tierney, Cedric, Odegaard, Lokonga, Fabio Vieira, and then Nelson, Nketiah, Marquinhos. A bit of rotation. We've rotated like Cedric, Holding at the back, Turner, Tierney, obviously, from the start, but I don't mind Tierney, Gabriel starting. They're like first team players anyway. Odegaard, Fabio Vieira starting, no problem. Lokonga for part in this game, no problem at all. Marquinhos, Nketiah, Nelson. You could argue maybe don't start both Nelson and Marquinhos, start Saka from the start and then bring one of them on. But I think we can still create chances with Odegaard and Vieira, and the likes of Nketiah can score up front. So that is the lineup I'm expecting. What about the bench? How will the bench look like? This is it. So the bench, KJ Hind, the backup goalkeeper. That is a full rest for Ramsdale. Tomiyasu, Ben White as the defensive cover on the bench. Granit Xhaka, Partey as the midfield cover. Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus as a forward line cover. And then 3 youngsters on the bench. Sarjan and Matthew Smith on the bench for the last one. They didn't really get to play. And Souza, the left back, is also on the bench, hopefully. So for me, if I was the one picking the squad, I wouldn't even go with Martinelli to Norway. I'd leave him in England, have a rest, be fresh for the next games that are coming up. Another like 5 games this month. Very, very busy. It's been one of our best players this season. Jesus, I'd take him. Saka, I'd take him. Partey, I'd even leave him home. I'd leave Partey, Martinelli, Ramsdale, those kind of players home, and then I'd go with like Jesus, Saka for first team just in case situation, and then have a few youngsters. The ideal situation is score 2 goals in the first half, have like a 2-0, 3-0 lead, take off Odegaard, bring on Sargent, take off Tierney, bring on Souza, take off one of the forward players, maybe Fabio Vieira, and bring on Smith, and then maybe even rest Gabriel as well. So that is the lineup I'm expecting from Arteta. Obviously, there's no guarantee it's going to be accurate. There could be a lot of changes. I'd not be surprised if I saw Martinelli starting once again. Centre-back situation, I'd not be surprised if Gabriel doesn't start this time, because he started like every game for us this season. So I'd not be surprised if he brings in White or someone like a Saliba. But it's going to be interesting to see. My prediction for this match, I am going to go for Bodo Glimt to score 1 this time around, because it's at their home, at their place. But I'm going to go for Arsenal to score 3. Nketiah to get a goal, Fabio Vieira to get a goal, and then maybe a defender from a corner. You're very good from these days. You know what? I'm going to go for Gabriel to score if he starts in this game. 3-1 to Arsenal. Let me know your prediction. Hopefully you can get this win and be ready for the Leeds game. It's not going to be easy, as I said. It's very, very tough. I follow their games, Bodo and Glimt. Actually, this weekend that they just played, they won by 4 goals right after we beat them. So they're not a terrible team. The likes of Pellegrino, Saltness, they're quite good. So let's hope we can get the win. Come on, you Arsenal, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.